What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry I've been missing a couple of days, and by a couple of days I mean Mondays. These last two Mondays in this week I wasn't uploading videos. I've had kind of a lot on my plate recently, and I've even adopted a kitten. So I'm gonna try and not get inconsistent, but having a new pet is almost like having a new child. To me, it's not exactly the same, but I digress. Welcome back to my channel. Today, guys, we continue to explore all of the Sims 4 expansion packs. And as we continue to explore all the Sims 4 expansion packs, specifically the expansion packs, and I always say this every video, but here we are on episode 5, and today we are exploring Sims 4 Seasons. Ooh. As always, with all these explorations, I want to go back in time, dive a little deeper into the history of these packs, because I feel like there's so many people who don't understand why these packs come out, why they were created, where they come from, the inspiration, just all of that stuff. So I wanted to dive in and kind of go from there. When The Sims releases their seasons pack, or their version of a seasons pack, it's always highly anticipated, and it's usually one of the earlier packs released for the Sims games. Now, I could be wrong, but I don't think there was a direct seasons pack for The Sims, but there was a seasons pack for The Sims 2 and The Sims 3, which gave us a new perspective on the Sims and their seasons and everything, and being able to explore summer, spring, winter, fall, you know, like human stuff, things that we as humans experience. And typically I always enjoyed the seasons packs. For me, it was exciting to see it rain in the game. So that's why I'm thinking, and I could be wrong because I was so young when I played The Sims, and I did replay it right before I got like The Sims 2, and then, but I mean, we're talking quite some time ago. I don't remember it like raining in The Sims and like snowing, and if it did, maybe it just wasn't like a separate pack and it was just a norm. I personally don't remember. Please comment down below what you remember about The Sims. I am typically going off of memory. There is some research I do, but I am typically going off of memory, and what my memory tells me is that there wasn't a seasons pack for The Sims, but there was Sims 2 seasons and Sims 3 seasons, and Sims 2 seasons was highly anticipated and Sims 3 seasons was highly anticipated as well, even though I know they had their failures back in that time. I have kind of an unpopular opinion about the Sims seasons pack, or shall I say the Sims 4 season pack, because to me, it's not that great. In the past, when I was a child and I was playing all these games, it was so exciting to like get on my game and be like, oh my gosh, is it gonna be winter? Are we gonna have like Christmas on The Sims, or have like different holidays? And that's another thing. Usually when the season packs came out, it came with like holidays, or like holidays targeted towards those seasons. And typically there wasn't a whole bunch of extra packs. Usually seasons was like this big expansion pack, and it was usually one of the biggest, and it probably took up the most room on your PC when you got any of the seasons pack for The Sims 2 or The Sims 3. The Sims 4 Seasons came out June 22nd, 2018, and I feel like, considering the packs that came out prior to The Sims 4 Seasons, I'm sure people were anticipating something kind of like The Sims 3. But I think off rip, The Sims 4 has never given The Sims 2, and The Sims 3. It is truly its own entity in a way. And that's probably where I'm messing up a little bit. Now let's go back in time for a second, again, just for a little bit, because The Sims 4 Seasons was like super controversial because it didn't compare to The Sims 2 Seasons and The Sims 3 Seasons as far as what you got with that pack, right? Like when The Sims 2 Seasons came out, it was like, oh my gosh, like all the different seasons, holidays, like why? Like it was like this big, huge thing. And it was exciting to think that your sim could do X, Y, and Z that they couldn't do before. And it was the same thing with the Sims 3 seasons. It was just exciting. Like I remember when the Sims 3 seasons came out, because I believe I started playing the Sims 3 around that time. I think I got the Sims 3 and then like a little bit later the Sims 3 seasons came out and I was like, yeah. And I was so into it because I greatly enjoyed the Sims 2 seasons. And I want to say the biggest difference between the Sims 2 and the Sims 3 and the Sims 4 seasons packs is how much it invites you into the world of summer, spring, winter, fall. Because like there were things you could do on those packs that I don't think you can do, or at least you can't do in its entirety in the Sims 4 seasons. And instead of including all that into one pack, The Sims, or shall we say Maxis, decided to release it into separate packs. You know, like we could have had snowboarding, sledding, all that stuff on the Sims 4 seasons, but instead we got that in, what was it called? Snow Escapes, something like that. I mean, we got like a new world with it too, which was like cool, but it was like, I would have still enjoyed having some of those features and also getting another pack with the new world and everything, and give me more features, like give me more stuff instead of something that should have been or could have been included in the Sims 4 seasons, if that makes any sense. Also with the Sims 2 and the Sims 3 seasons, they really much more touched on the excitement of the holidays, versus in the Sims 4 seasons, sometimes the holidays just feel like a burden. I have a pretty unpopular opinion with the Sims 4 seasons. I don't like it that much, and it disappointed me in a lot of Simmers in comparison to the Sims 2 seasons and the Sims 3 seasons. Like it was just a disappointment because I wanted that. And even if it wasn't that, and it was just a spin on those things, but still give me the same feel, give me the same vibe, but that wasn't what they did. Instead, they gave us what I felt was a half-made pack. Which goes back to my original theory of thinking that The Sims 4 was originally going to be an online game. Just my 2 cents. Because if it was going to be an online game, the way they did the expansion packs, the way they did the game, all of that makes so much more sense to me. And I think more recently in the last couple of years, they've been leaning into this being a regular single person game versus it being a multiplayer game. And again, if you know anything about online gaming, then you know that the way this engine is made for The Sims 4, it feels so much like an online game without the multiplayer. And I feel like that's something you only know if you play online multiplayer games, because online games will come out with DLC and you'll be like, why wasn't this included in the previous DLC? And they'll be like, haha, because it's for this. Boom. Like that's just like how they are. Versus in a life sim where it makes more sense to have certain things together, versus spreading everything out like this and making it feel like we're just throwing money away in stuff that could have been included in one pack. Now, something that they did do a little different with the Sims 4 seasons versus like the Sims 2 and the Sims 3 seasons was they added in temperatures. The temperature was already there, but we didn't like know the temperature like before you stepped outside. You'd just be like, oh, I froze. That's crazy. Wow, it was apparently too hot for my sim. Whereas now, like, you have that. If you get the Sims 4 seasons, there'll be like a little temperature gauge at the bottom of the screen. I'm uncertain if that just comes with base game after like the update for that came out back then. Let's get into some of the key features that came with the Sims 4 seasons. Number one, obviously, the weather. The weather was the point of the Sims 4 seasons along with the holidays, right? We'll talk about that in a second. The weather, of course, in spring, there's typically rain. Your Sims can shower in the rain, which is really funny, and they can jump in like rain puddles and stuff like that. And then there's also thunderstorms. Now, thunderstorms can be super, super, super annoying. Because unfortunately what tends to happen is your sim tends to always be scared of thunderstorms if they're happening, and they just run away from the storm like the storm chasing them when it's not. And that leads me to another thing that with the rain and the thunderstorms in the Sims 4 Seasons pack, there's a bunch of bugs. There's a bunch of bugs that are currently in that pack with the rain and the thunderstorms, and it's so annoying. My Sim shouldn't be scared every single time with thunderstorms, and it's not like I only play one household. If you follow me on TikTok, then you know I play multiple households, and every single one of my households go through this. All of them. It doesn't matter what their traits are, what their fears, wants, likes, desires, like none of that matters. Aspiration, career, none of that matters. All of them are horribly afraid of thunderstorms. And that is a bug, and that's something that Maxis needs to fix. And of course, there's also summertime on the Sims 4 Seasons. And in the summertime, I want to say things just basically get like horribly hot to the point of where your Sim is like, I don't want to be outside. Now, of course, also, it does snow in The Sims 4. And when it snows for far too long, in my opinion, where the snow is just on the ground. I'm like, give me a break. Can this snow go away? And the snowstorms, Jesus. But like, you can build like snow pals and make snow angels. I personally never really have my Sim do stuff like that because I just feel like it just takes too much time. I have had like my child Sims do that, but either way, to each their own if that's something you want to do or you don't want to do. And then of course there's also fall on The Sims 4, and fall is probably the most chill. I do want to say that when the leaves are falling or when you are doing stuff like that, like I feel like they could have done better with that, because as someone who grew up on the East Coast, fall was actually pretty fun, and the type of festivals that came with the fall time was usually pretty fun, right along with, you know, things like Halloween. I'm not someone who really celebrates Halloween anymore, but as a kid it was fun to like go on hay rides and go to corn mazes, you know, like I grew up in the country, you know, on the East Coast, but that was fun. That could have been great things that they added to the Sims 4 Seasons for the fall time, and they just like chose not to. And then let's not forget, obviously, you know, in all these seasons, there's like certain holidays that take place for us, like as Americans, and like I want to say like majority of people, right? Even across the globe. Like during winter, that's usually when we have Christmas. During fall is like when we have Thanksgiving. Summertime is like the kids are off from school. That's something else they could have included in The Sims. The kids could have been off from school for like 3-4 days, you know, because sim time is different than it is in real life, right? So I feel like 3-4 days would have been a perfect summer break for your child Sims, but instead, nope, they just have school all year long. It's like, forget you, sorry for your troubles. Now, something I do like about seasons is that all the worlds have their own unique elements. So like in Willow Creek, you get all 4 seasons. In Oasis Springs, you don't. And Snowy Escapes, I forget what that world is called, so you have to forgive me, but it's always snowy, obviously, right? In the Sims 4 Islands expansion pack, it's always hot. Like you're not gonna get cold, freezing cold. You will get rain though. I've had it rain. I don't know if my game's just glitching, but I've had it rain in that world before, but it's not gonna snow in that world. So that's kind of cool how with the Sims 4 Seasons pack that each world has its own climate, its own temperature, which makes sense, you know, it should. Because in real life, it's not gonna snow in the desert, you know? Just like it's not gonna be unbearably hot in Antarctica unless we, you know, don't chill out with global warming. But any case, but yeah, the seasons and like the climate change and everything is currently a huge issue in the Sims 4 Seasons pack, and it's something that Maxis needs to fix. I don't know if it's just they can't internally fix it for everybody's game. I feel like that's probably more so the issue, because it's probably they don't know how to explain for you to fix it for your own computer, and they're like, okay, well, we'll try to put out a patch, but it's probably not going to fix it for everybody. Like currently it'll rain nonstop in your Sims 4 game, including inside of their house. Now I think that's more of a camera glitch. It's not raining inside of your Sims house, it just looks like it is. But I have heard of people developing actual puddles from the rain inside of their house, even though there's no opening at all in their house for that to happen. So yeah, Sims, if you see this video, fix it. My personal biggest annoyance with the Sims 4 Seasons is the holidays. The holidays shouldn't impact my Sims' emotions and feelings as much as it does. It just shouldn't, Sims, but it does. Like when the holidays are happening, if you don't complete every single one of those things or like 2 out of those things, your sim will be so sad because they had a bad holiday. Take that away. Take that away. Oh, not realistic. No, unless you are so spoiled and so entitled that you used to getting presents on Christmas, used to having everything you want on Christmas. I'm someone who's not. Like I want them to make it where if my sim completes the holiday challenges, then get this like super happy moodlet. But if they don't, I don't want them to be sad or disappointed, because at the end of the day, there are some holidays that some people and families don't even celebrate. They're like Harvest Fest, Winter Fest. I didn't download the pack that came out that allowed it to be like Halloween on the game. That should have just come with the Sims 4 seasons, but I didn't add that in. Instead, they added in surprise holidays like Talk Like a Pirate Day. If you were in my streams, that is my least favorite holiday. You know what I do? You know what I do with these holidays? I delete them. I delete them from the calendar because the sad moodlet is way too intense. If you want to give my sim a sad moodlet about the holiday not being great, make it 2 hours, not a day, not 2 days. Make it like 2 sim hours. Why do they have to be sad about this holiday for 2 days? For 2 days, especially if I just wasn't thinking about it or I had my sims working on other stuff. Like, it doesn't make real life sense to me for this to be as big of an issue for my sims as it has been. Speaking of the calendar, what the Sims 4 seasons was when they added in the calendar. At one time, you weren't able to have the calendar as like an automatic feature in your game without having Sims 4 seasons, but then they released like a patch and it came with base game. So the calendar is now included in the base game as far as that goes. The calendar is pretty useful because it's how you track like your Sims' birthdays coming up, holidays coming up, and that's also how you delete holidays, okay? I go in there and I clear holidays, and if I feel bad, I add them back in and I switch out and I edit certain things I don't want to be there because it doesn't make sense. Or I make it really easy for them to complete their like holiday traditions, basically. You can also use the calendar to do like social events. So that's usually how I have my sim plan parties and stuff. I just use the calendar, it just makes more sense. But you can also do it, I think, on the computer and on your phone too. But I typically go through the calendar when I'm doing it. There was a bunch of objects that came with the Sims 4 season. Obviously, that was when thermostats came in because prior to any seasons pack, your sim doesn't need a thermostat because the seasons are not changing. So the Sims 4 season is when the thermostat came out, as well as like snow pals, which is something you can make during the winter. Snow pals are interesting if your sim actually completes it. They can actually like talk and interact with the snow pal, which is like kind of cool, But again, it's never stuff that I really make my sim do just because it is nowhere near as fun as it used to be. Like, and for a while I thought, oh, maybe it's just because like I'm getting older now, like I'm an adult, like maybe that's why. But no, I mean, as someone who grew up with all the seasons, you would think it wouldn't be exciting for me. But either way it was because of how Maxis used to do it, but now they don't. But yes, it came with a bunch of objects, stuff like for the holidays, like presents and stuff like that. It came with a bunch of holiday stuff, like, and then it came with like the holiday decoration box. Now the holiday decoration box is kind of cool. I just wish it functioned a little better, but it doesn't function that great. And that's something I'm not crazy about. Like, that is something I wish was improved, because at one time, if you were decorating your Sims home, it was so easy to decorate your Sims home, the inside and the outside, but now it's just like annoying. The Sims 4 Seasons is also where the money tree comes from. If you know, you know. A period. And it came with the most random thing ever, the beekeeper box. Now, hear me out, right? You can, harvest honey and stuff. Who cares? If you care, that's great. Who cares? And of everything to include with the Sims 4 Seasons, they said, oh, beekeeper box. You can harvest money. This pack is not on my top 5 if you can't tell. And also it came with Patchy the Straw Man. I believe you can talk and like interact with him. And I think you can get your sim to fall in love, and you can like add him to a household using cheats, of course. and you can have a baby with him. The seasons pack did also come with the scouting part, you know, like how you can make your sim like Boy Scout, Girl Scout type thing. That's kind of cool, I suppose. It also came with sprinklers. I mean, period, honestly, because no, my house should not burn down just because my sim decides to light the fireplace and they don't remember to turn it off, and then everything, you know, catches on fire within like an hour or whatever. Like a sim hour is absolutely insane. So yeah, sprinklers should have always been in the game from the start. It also came with a couple of like traits for The Sims 4, such as Iceproof, Waterproof, and Storm Chaser. Now, I kind of wish these traits were a little bit more realistic. Like, I feel like with The Sims 4 specifically, they could have given us some hardcore seasons. Like, give me a tornado. Can someone give me a tornado? Or can I cause a tornado to happen on someone's house that I don't like? You know, like with the chaoticness of The Sims, they could have done that and they chose not to. Also, I forgot to mention there's also a weather controlling machine, or you can just use cheats, guys. So pack irks makes me want to toss my head. The Sims 4 Seasons also came with a new radio station. Do you guys actually like, if I have a speaker in my Sims house, they'll use it against my will, against my better judgment. They will use it. I don't just instinctively go and use it, but I can't say the Sims 4 radio is much better than it ever has been. You know, now they actually use real songs. You just put it in Simlish. There's new television channels and there is new skills. There were new skills added to the Sims 4 Season, such as flower arranging and skating. So I think a lot of people don't know that flower raging actually came from the season, but that's how you even have that skill and that ability is from the Sims 4 Season, as well as skating, such as like figure skating, ice skating. This is quote unquote a secret skill. They do this from time to time. I didn't touch on this on the other packs. The secret skills feel so redundant to me, but they're cool to find out that you can make skills out of certain things. But yeah, if you put down an ice rink, even if you find one, they're usually spread out throughout the world. If you find a little ice rink or whatever, your sim can go in that ice rink and they can practice, and then they can start practicing routines once they hit a certain skill level. So that's kind of cool. Now, can you pursue a career in that? Of course not. Sims doesn't do that. But they did add in new careers. I mean, they only added in one career. They added a new after school activity, which was Scout. You know, I mentioned that with the scouting skill that they added in. But they also added in a gardener. Now, the gardening skill and the mischief skill are my two most annoying skills. Whenever I'm doing challenges and I have to have my sim build those skills, they take forever. If you're someone who does ragstorizations and you're like, you know what, I'm gonna garden to make my money for the Rags to Riches challenge. Don't. That's how I feel. There's a bunch of new plants that were added to it and a bunch of new like collectibles. They also added in new types of, I mean, they have to because of the seasons, you know, like you can like RIP in the winter, in the summer, in the spring, and in the fall. They add a way for each one of these seasons to just take your sim out. Thank you, Sims. Thank you. Yeah, because if my sim just steps out the front door and if they didn't have on their like cozy jacket, then they gonna freeze and RIP. Like, unless you live in absolutely freezing cold temperatures, that is not gonna happen to you. Some other features that came with the Sims 4 Seasons was the outerwear, something I just spoke on that does bother me. But it is cool that you can edit and change your Sims outerwear and that you can fully customize that. Like that's pretty cool to me. You can also have mud fights, snow fights, and water balloon fights. Also, all really cool stuff. And then of course there's Father Winter, Santa Claus. Just to let you guys know, if y'all do the Sugar Baby Challenge, Father Winter is ballin', okay? My dude got 500,000 simoleons. They also added in the Flower Bunny NPC as well. The Flower Bunny is cute. I mean, it's cute stuff. And something I feel like some people don't know about that was actually in The Sims 2 and The Sims 3 is lightning bending. So if your sim gets struck by lightning, they will either RIP or get like this moodlet, okay? Bear with me, guys. With this moodlet, I think they have to get struck by lightning twice. Okay, the second time that they get struck by lightning, they are able to bend lightning, so they can summon lightning wherever they are at that time. It's kind of cool. Unfortunately, it's not something that's like super disclosed in the Sims world, so I think it's a feature that a lot of people don't know about. But lightning bending, that is a really cool feature, and it's one one of my favorites from The Sims 4 Seasons. Also with The Sims 4 Seasons, that's where gift giving came from. Being able to click on your sim and give them a gift of like whatever, that came from The Sims 4 Seasons pack. So prior to that pack, you couldn't really give your sims gift. Now, with The Sims 4 Seasons, there was not a new world that came with it. So usually when a seasons pack comes out, it's usually followed by another expansion pack because we don't get a new world, but it kind of transforms the entire game. So in a way, it's kind of like updating all of your worlds instead of getting a new world. But you gotta think, right? This is only the 5th expansion pack. So I think by this point, you only had like 5 or 6 worlds. So they could have added another world, but they did not. The Sims 4 Seasons, when it first came out, was marked at $39.99. That tends to be the cost of all their expansion packs. Now, when The Sims came out, I think it was like $50. So I think that making it $39.99 made sense to them because then it was like cheaper than the game, which is usually how DLC and expansion packs work. Usually it's cheaper than the actual game. Sometimes, depending upon what games you play. Depending upon who you are, The Sims 4 Season is either a really fun pack or it's a pack that you just feel like you kind of need in your game. I'm gonna go ahead and show you certain features, some different things that you get with The Sims 4 Seasons, and things that pop up that don't pop up unless you have The Sims 4 Seasons. Let's dive in. With the Sims 4 Seasons pack, when you first load into the game, this is the screen that you will see after you go through like create a sim. It'll ask you what season you want to play in: spring, summer, fall, or winter. This is the order of the seasons in the United States. I know in other countries it's a little different, but this is how we do it here. Typically, when I load in a sim into my Sims game, I usually click spring because winter is my least favorite season. In real life and on The Sims. Yeah. Let's click on spring. And then as usual, you can pick what world your sim goes into. And as you can see, like I said, there is no world that comes with The Sims 4 Season. But each one of these worlds are greatly impacted by The Sims 4 Seasons being in your game. Without seasons being in the game, your sim will not go through different climates and different seasons. So let's pick Willow Creek. Now, I wasn't going to pick Willow Creek initially because it just always rains in Willow Creek. Let's pick Willow Creek. Okay, so I picked one of these little starter homes in Willow Creek. Very basic home. It doesn't really matter. I just figured this would be perfect to kind of go over some of the features in The Sims 4 Seasons. For whatever reason, my sim grabbed a book. This is my sim. I'm dyslexic, guys. If I walk into a new house, I am not grabbing a book. Also, I used to love the starter homes on The Sims 2 and The Sims 3. And I'm not saying like I love the way that they look. It just used to excite me so much to move my sim into a new home and have her try and create this life for herself. As you can see right here, my sim has on her cold weather outfit. Now, that's another thing, right? There's only one hot weather and one cold weather outfit. Now, you can make multiple different outfits under each outfit if you wanted to, but your sim is either going to pick a random outfit or you can pick the outfit for your sim to wear. I always pick something kind of universal. Is this something I would wear in like a freezing cold snowstorm? No, but I feel like it could kind of work as someone who did come from freezing cold snowstorms. But it also really works really well in the springtime when things do get a little cold. Same thing goes for the hot weather outfit. There's only one hot weather outfit. So just know that if you are going to create outfits for your sims, because it's not like you can create a weather outfit for spring, for summer, for fall, and for winter. It's more so you can create multiple outfits under one category. But again, your sim just automatically chooses which outfit they want to wear. But you can also change it if you want to. But just know they picked the outfit. So down here in the bottom middle of the screen, this is what I was talking about. This is the temperature gauge. It tells you what the summer's like. It tells you how many days of spring. Now this is on normal lifespan. This isn't short or long. This is just normal lifespan. So that's why it's giving it to me like this. It's telling me right now it's cold, it's sunny, it's gonna stay sunny. Sometimes in the spring it gets a little warmer. Well, it'll just like randomly start raining. The eco footprint thing, that's from the eco lifestyle pack, so just ignore that. And then obviously, you know, it has a little flower next to the day. I also think originally came with the Sims 4 Seasons, and then like a patch made this come with it. And then there is the calendar where it shows you the different events, the different holidays, like everything coming up. Like right now it's Sunday, so there's a flea market. Tuesday there's gonna be GeekCon, and then Thursday is gonna be football team sports day. Flea market and GeekCon came from the City Living pack. You didn't have those things prior to the City Living pack, so just know, if you didn't have City Living, I don't think these pop up, but I could be wrong. And then on Friday would be Love Day, so that's Valentine's Day, right? Which does typically happen in the spring. And that is something that comes with the Sims 4 Seasons pack. And then as you go down, during the summer, like I said, there's no real holiday in the summer, but there's a bunch of festivals. And then during the fall, you have Harvest Fest, and then during the winter, you have Winterfest. Both of these holidays I kind of dislike. Like I said, I turn off the holidays. Let me click on Love Day to show you guys how you can actually disable the holidays. So you can delete it before it comes, like you can cancel the holiday and it will have no negative effect on your sim as long as you do it like before the holiday is happening. But you can also edit holiday. When you click on edit holiday, you can change the name of the holiday, you can change the decoration theme, you can say if your sims are off from work or school, you can also choose different traditions for the holiday. This is very important because I feel like a lot of people don't know that you can like do this, okay? And I think a lot of people don't know that this is truly how you edit the holidays as a whole. Wouldn't it make more sense to invent a summer holiday where you barbecue or you go drinking, you know, like adult stuff, or you're exercising because you want to look good, or you want to have water fun? Like, wouldn't that make sense? But instead they said no. Also, if you notice, some of these things didn't come with seasons. Some of these came from like mods that I have. Now here's something: you can create Easter, right? Which to me makes a little bit more sense to have during the springtime, because in America Easter used to be a pretty big holiday, but it has this like controversies that people feel about Easter. I like Easter, I celebrate Easter. If you know, you know, I am a Christian. Any case, but you can have the flower bunny come and visit, and then you can do interactions with the flower bunny. And I think that's why some people don't know the flower bunny is there, because you have to actually add it to your traditions, and unless you add it, then you don't know. So let's click the check mark. But then if you wanted to delete the holiday, you can press cancel holiday, and that'll delete it in its entirety, guys. That'll delete it in its entirety, and it won't appear next year. So if you delete it, it's gone. Now, can you add it back in doing your own edits and stuff? Yeah. But if you delete it, it's deleted. So let that be known. But now let's click on a blank day in the calendar. You can add holiday, add event, or add a stayover. Now the stayover thing I think came from the Growing Together pack. So I'm unsure if you have this feature without the Growing Together pack. But if you click on add holiday, you click the plus, and then you can fully create your own holiday. You can change the name of the holiday, the decoration theme. So it'll be like Love Day, Harvest Fest, New Year's Eve, Spring, Spooky, Winterfest, Spooky. Halloween just should have been on here. Any case. And then you can choose all the traditions that kind of make it make sense. You know, like you can wear costumes, which, I mean, I guess you can create your own Halloween, but like Sims. Any case, can change the weather in your Sims 4 game and the season without just waiting for these things to happen. You could also make the holidays happen without just waiting. Mostly the way to do this is with cheats or mods, but I'll show you how to do it with cheats versus doing it with mods, because I know a lot of people don't like using mods, so we'll just do it the like cheating way. If you want to use cheats, you have to type in Control-Shift-C, you have to type in testing cheats true. Then you would press enter. Mine's already on, so if I press enter, it's gonna say disabled. So let's leave that enabled, shall we? If you shift left click on your sim, all the cheat stuff will come up, you know, like you can go to pack cheats, expansion packs, and then you can click on seasons, holiday debug, right? You can start Harvest Fest, start Love Day, start New Year's Eve. Like you can do all that. Summon Flower Bunny. Summon a trick-or-treater. Summon Father Winter, right? Like all cute stuff. Now, as far as changing the weather, that's a little bit more complicated. And I say that just because I'm dyslexic. Like there's just more to type in, right? So you go Control-Shift-C and say I wanted it to not be spring and I wanted it to be summer. So then I would type in seasons dot set underscore season followed by a number 0, 1, 2, or 3. Each number means something else. 0 is for summer, 1 is for fall, 2 is for winter, and 3 is for spring. So I would type in 0, press enter, and now it is summer in my game. So that's a quick way to change the seasons if you want to do it. Again, that didn't require a mod. That was a cheat. It's just like a lengthy cheat to type in as someone who is 100% dyslexic. But to each their own, honestly, to each their own. And if you don't want to select the season, you can type in seasons dot advance underscore season, and it'll go to the season that follows summer, because we're in summer right now. So the season that follows summer is fall. So now it just moved us into fall, right? Pretty easy. Now let's go back to spring for a second. We are back in spring. As far as to change the weather, there's a bunch of different weather commands. So I would suggest to look it up because there's so many, but we're gonna make it rain in my game. So to make it rain in the springtime, now this is a heavy cheat, right? Now this is probably what makes it annoying as far as changing the weather without a mod. You type in weather dot start underscore weather underscore event weather underscore rain underscore storm underscore warm, and then it'll make it thunderstorm, which my sim is not having. She's like, not around these parts. Here, go back outside. While we are waiting for her to get struck by lightning, because hopefully this happens soon, if you don't want to use cheats, you can also use the weather machine, and you can change the current weather. Get blizzard, clear skies, cloudy skies, cold, heat wave, hot, snow, thunderstorm. Right now it is thunderstorming. Oh, she's gonna go take a panicked poo. Girl, I need you outside and ready to go. Okay, I'm tired of waiting, so we're gonna struck her by lightning ourselves. Boom! And now she got struck by lightning. We're gonna have it happen again. Boom! Okay, now she got struck with lightning again. That was kind of hard to do. Okay, I accidentally took Sarah out, so we're gonna try this over again, and we'll fast forward when she doesn't from being electrocuted too many times. After many trial and errors with this, from it not working to it working and using these cheats, so now our girl is hypercharged. The only way you get this is by first being supercharged. You have to get struck by lightning twice. 2 to 3 times in a row without your sim RIPing. First time I did this, she RIP'd. This time she has not RIP'd. It's annoying. This is something that usually takes... It's not something that usually happens unless you're using cheats with the MC Command Center to make it happen. So now she's currently hypercharged. As you can see, them eyes are hypercharged, and they will only be this way for about 12 hours. And it comes with this lightning bending ability, which is kind of cool, and I think most people don't know, but this is in The Sims 2 and The Sims 3. So just letting you know. So if your sim is outside or inside, you can click on bring the lightning, and then your sim will. Ho, ho, ha, wah, bam. But they only have this ability for 12 hours. So your sim can only, oh girl, you embarrassing me. All of that and then you fall. Let's do it again. Bring the lightning. do it again. Get a better shot this time. Ooh, cool. Golly. Golly. It's pretty cool, especially if you want to take out a sim. So there's that. Okay, I had to cheat the weather back, but now let's show you guys something that I feel like a lot of people just don't know is even there. So I shift left click on my sim to summon the flower bunny. I feel like a lot of people don't know that the flower bunny is in your game, the Easter bunny, because there is no Easter holiday where he just appears. Instead, they give us Love Fest. In any case, you can summon the flower bunny, also known as the Easter bunny. Let me show you how I did it. So you have to have testing cheats true on. You shift left click on your sim, pack cheats, expansion packs, seasons, holiday debug, and you can do all the holidays like I showed you earlier, and then one of them is summon the flower bunny or summon a trick-or-treater. Like it's pretty cool. I just feel like this is a feature that a lot of people don't know comes with the seasons pack, so I just wanted to show you guys. And then you can talk to the flower bunny. You can also add the flower bunny to your household, I believe, just like you can. She's like, no time no see, how you doing? If you shift left click on the bunny, you can click on add to family, and then it'll add the bunny to your family. Ask if you can have kids with the Easter bunny. I actually don't know, but again, this is just a little cool feature, right? So I'm showing you all the tips and tricks. You can play in the pile of leaves, and then you can fill the water balloon bucket with water balloons. And then I don't know if it's just the kid sims or it requires other sims they know to be on the lot, but then you can have like a water balloon fight. You can also burn the pile of leaves. It didn't work. Hold on, do it again. Burn it! Yeah! Sorry about the purring. My kitten got lonely. And oh, she's doing it without me telling her to do it. She's playing in the puddle of water. But yes, this is my breakdown of the Sims 4 Seasons expansion pack. Do I think you need this expansion pack in your game to have a good time? No. Do I think you need it in your game? Yes and no. If you want all the seasons, then yeah. This is definitely like a cult following favorite where you get the Sims 4 Seasons whether you want it in your game or not, because it's just one of those packs that you get in your game. Do I think you absolutely need it in your game? No, just because it annoys me so much. I think if they would have fixed some things and repaired some things, I would feel a little bit different. I do like some of the features that come with the pack. They just don't directly tell you about it. But I mean, it is a game, and it's kind of what makes a game fun. So yeah, time for the most important question of the day. After seeing my video, would you add the Sims 4 Seasons to your game? Comment down below, let me know. Thank y'all so much for chilling with me. If y'all like my content, please go ahead and leave a like, leave a comment down below. Tell me your thoughts. I want to know what you're thinking, especially about the Sims 4 Seasons expansion pack. Go ahead and press the subscribe button so that we can become besties. And I will see y'all next time. Peace.